Edwards has come out and said that he was contacted by the UFC and that they said to him, hey, look, we're going to work on Kamaru versus Colby for a few more weeks. But we do have a deadline. And if we don't get this thing done, you are next in line. Now, what does that mean? To me, it means don't ever forget, Kamaru is safe. Kamaru is the next time they contest a world championship at 170 pounds, Usman's going to be there. So the question is, who's in the passenger seat? I love that they're looking to Colby. Colby is the right guy to look to. That's fair. He did the heavy lifting. He won the intern championship, which in my mind makes you solidified number one contender. Okay. They're trying to do that. That's above board. Everybody's hands are clean on this. Let's hope that gets done. But if it doesn't, and you look at what's next, on one hand, sure, you're going, hey, Chael, you already opened with that. You told us what's next. It's Leon Edwards. I get that. And that makes good sense. Leon's on a 7-fight win streak. Leon's a stud, and Leon deserves something really good to happen for him. Fine. But it still leaves you with what's next for Colby. Right? You can't just go throw a guy in there with Colby. Oh, hey, Colby, we're mad at you. You're now on the undercard against a non-ranked opponent. That's irresponsible. Colby will hurt guys. You have to bring in top 5 guys to put with Covington. He will hurt them. He is a skill set. He is a gas tank. He has a nastiness about him. To be responsible, you can't just throw out the baby with the bathwater on this one. You gotta be very careful. So where would Colby go? And what would that mean if Colby was to beat whoever that person was? That he's now the number one contender? Again? He's only solidified the number one contendership? I mean, come on. It's a tough spot. It's important that that fight gets done. It's important that everybody comes around. Kamaru's already there. We need a passenger. Boom. It needs to be Colby. If it's not Colby and it defers to Leon, though, you're still left with what happens with Colby. And then if it is Leon, what does this BMF title mean? By the way, I mean, this is a mega fight, but what's good for the goose is not always good for the gander. We see that in MMA a number of times. And for example, there will be fights. A number of times through history, there will be a fight that is put on, and it is said, this guy wins, he fights for the belt. Okay, great. Well, what if his opponent wins? I mean, if he fights for the belt, essentially you're telling me by sports terms, this is a semifinal round. So if the other guy wins, doesn't he get a fight for the belt? No. Okay. But sometimes it's that way. I mean, even though that may sound a little bit weird, you'll know it when you see it. As fight fans, we'll know it when we see it, and we'll go, well, it is true for him, but no, it's not true for him. Daniel Cormier was in that spot. He needed an opponent. Short notice, Pat Cummings, who had never been in the UFC, took the spot. Oh, and by the way, walked in against Daniel. Oh, and oh, by the way, it was a co-main event. Well, if Daniel gets over on him, yes, Daniel springs right into a title shot. He was already the number one contender. All he needed to do was look good that night. But no, Pat on his debut, as heavy of lifting as that was and as much pressure that was put on him and as good of a spot as he walked of a co-main event, no, he does not then in his second fight go fight Jon Jones for the strap. By example, just so you guys will understand that it works that way. I guess I offer that because there's a lot of things out there for Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is just in a really, really good spot. This guy is a star, okay? Conor McGregor is just always out there. Nate could lose his next 3 fights. Conor could lose his next. That fight works. It's one of those rare times where they both have an ace up their sleeve if they ever needed to deal it. Masvidal is very much from a competitive standpoint and the spot in his career ready, willing, and able to go fight for a world championship. Nate, who knows? I would think would want a world title fight, but he may not. Nate may want to go call somebody else out like he did Masvidal, and they got to go create a big thing for him and find a huge arena and make it a spectacle because that's who he is and what he deserves. He may say, I want a world title shot. He may say, I'm going back to 155. Who knows? He's in a very rare place. 2 + 2 does not equal 4 for Nate Diaz. It's not all in order and all the boys and all the girls in the back are treated the same. It's not like that. It's never been like that. You get whatever it is you create. Nate has created something very special, and he has a number of leaves he could hop to. So where's he going to go? Yes, I do think the BMF title, should it go to Masvidal, could definitely make a compelling and almost no-brainer that he go right for a world title shot if he wanted to. With Nate, again, he could if he wanted to, but it may be a step down for what he's got sitting in his, which is the Conor. I'm just saying, you really never know what's going to happen there. Does one of those guys want to go fight Colby? Well, if you do, fight him for what? Is this a number one contendership fight? Because it sounds as though Colby's already the number one contender. And oh, by the way, if I have the BMF title and I got over on pay-per-view at Madison Square Garden, I'm now a number one contender. It just creates a little bit of a mess. I think if we could just hope for anything, I think if we just wanted to have some smooth sailing and not have to live in the world of drama for the next 8 months within the welterweight division, let's get Colby what he's earned, which is a title fight with Kamaru, who has earned the right to go and defend that belt, evident of being the world champion.